right. It says we're live. Welcome from the crossroads of America to a talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email to rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I've got a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that other good stuff. All the links are down below if anybody's interested. So that's it. So I want to say, we got people in the chat already. First in was Kingpin, then Kevin in New York, then Grim 90, Blind Shooter. So they're starting to creep in. So Raphael's here as always. So anyway, and on my panel so far, I've got New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing well. Much better today than yesterday. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yep. Now we got the one and only Jason Stewart.
Good afternoon, Rick. Good afternoon, Rob, and everybody out there. Happy day after.
Yes, happy day out. And if you're in England, today is Boxing Day. It's an official holiday. I mean, it's the only time of the year where you have 2 consecutive days as official paid holidays. It's Christmas Day and Boxing Day.
Well, Christmas Eve is now Dr. Fauci Day, so we had 2 in a row.
That lying son of a bitch. Follow the science. And he turns out he's goddamn lying. And so we got to believe his COVID bullshit?
From what I hear, boxing's like the last patriotic sport left. So you got to respect them for that at least.
Who you on about?
You've got mail. It's rigged.
You lost me there. What, you talking about Boxing Day?
Yeah, just in general. You know, I can't speak for over there. But,
it's got nothing to do with the sport of boxing.
Oh, what's boxing over there? It's like a biscuit and cookie thing?
No, Boxing Day goes back to hundreds of years ago with the upper classes, you know, like royalty or like that, who had servants, right? On the day after Christmas was the day what normally was their day off because they've been serving their employers Christmas dinner and stuff. So the next day was their day off, and it was the day that their employers gave them a gift, and it was called, you know, giving them a box, and that's where Boxing Day comes from.
Well, did they actually get a gift in a box, or?
Yeah. That is called it Boxing Day because it was the day that the employers. Or basically, say for argument's sake, you were the cook in Windsor Castle with the Queen. You know, today, day after Christmas, the Queen would give you a gift in a box, and that's Boxing Day. You know, that's how it originally started.
All right.
I like it. I think America should have took it up, even though that I know we wanted our independence. But we should have kept that. We should have kept that Boxing Day. I don't know if it was going around then. I know it's been around for hundreds of years. But whether I don't know how long it's been an official holiday. Being an official holiday, you know, at least a couple of 100 years I know of. So
I could definitely understand like Employee Appreciation Day or something for the ones that actually show up on time and don't expect to be the boss the first week they're there.
I mean, why do you have to be so politically correct? You know, Employee Appreciation Day.
Well, we're talking about America now.
Boxing Day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why can't Boxing Day be where you get to go up to somebody you don't like, punch them in the face?
Yeah. As long as you get paid for it, you know, as an official day off. You know, so all right. So we got more Midnight Rangers joined us. Mystic Guns is here. I don't know. I haven't seen. Is she here yet? I haven't seen Sabrina yet, so I don't know whether she's here or not. So anyway, as you can tell by my title, it's the open after Christmas chat. I have no topics because I just thought I'd just BS. I had a good day yesterday. Christmas Eve, I went over to my cousin's and stuffed my face. Brought a bunch of goodies home, which I still have some of them because yesterday, as I was telling Rob before he went live, about 5:30 last night, there's a knocking on my front door, and I'm thinking, because I was settled down, I had my soda, my cup of tea, a couple of pieces of fudge sitting on my table next to my recliner, ready for the evening. And somebody bangs on my door. I don't jump up because I can't, because I'm hurting so bad. But I get up out of my recliner. I open the door and stick my head around to see who it was, and I had my 380 in my hand, behind the door. I didn't know who in the hell it was, and it was dark outside. And it was the two kids from next door, and their parents were in the car in the driveway because they were going out, and they dropped me off Christmas dinner. And I thought it was very nice of them. So of course I had to eat that too. So I'm back on my diet, by the way. So, so I had a good day. So that's what it's about. I mean, Christmas Eve was fun. There was 7. I think it was 7. Yeah, I think it was 7. I don't think it was any more kids at my cousin's house. These were her great grandkids. And there were 7 of them, all under the age of 5. So it was very noisy. And I was laughing my head off, thinking, God, I'm glad I'd gone past that stage, So. Anyway, I hope you all got what you wanted for Christmas. I got a $25 gift certificate for Deb's truck stop. And what else did I get? I got something else too. I know I don't do Christmas that much anymore per se. I don't expect anything from anybody. Because how at my age, I don't need anything. Well, I need everything, but it doesn't bother me if I don't get it, if you know what I mean. So anyway, we got a couple of more people who joined the panel here. We got the Kingpin. How you doing?
What's happening, Rick? Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
I got a great idea for your channel taking off like a rocket.
Yeah.
Film your morning going to Deb's and then walking into Deb's and saying hi to everybody, then taking your seat, and you could call it Rick Does Debbie's.
That's a good one.
I don't know. His new subscribers might not be the best people.
Jeez, Rob, don't kill everything, man. You'd make a great hunter. You don't even need a gun to kill everybody.
Then of course, we got Willed and Well Armed. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Rick?
Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just brain lapse, missing all the time, so I don't know what's going on.
Hey, it's okay. It's not too bad. I hope you're getting out there telling everybody to vote in Georgia.
Doing my best.
Yeah.
Trying to get my wife to vote, but I didn't get my mom to vote, so at least she voted for Biden before, and now she voted for the 2 GOPers, so we're good there. Just my wife would be affected because all she does is healthcare benefits. So if employer mandate, employer paid healthcare disappeared, she'd be directly affected more than anybody.
Yeah, but so I mean, do you really think since I haven't spoken to you since the election, really, do you think it was rigged in Georgia?
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that those 25,000 votes came out from underneath the table. I mean, we have the paper audit. So, you can't steal votes without bringing paper introducing paper. So, that lady with the braids was actually caught bringing 4 suitcases out from underneath the table.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can recount all you want as long as you're recounting those 4 suitcases.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these states, said, okay, we'll do a recount to prove it. They're recounting the votes that are in question.
Yeah, and it's the same.
Get the same answer.
It's the same county employee, bureaucrats that are doing the counting too, right?
Yeah. So, anyway, from what I'm reading and hearing is that they're going to question it on the January 6th. From what I understand, there's a handful of House Republican representatives that are going to question the Electoral College votes, and they claim there's some senators on board, but the senators won't say anything right now because Mitch McConnell has told them not to. So we'll see, because you've got to have at least one senator and one representative to bring it up. If only people from the House bring it up, they don't even talk. It's not even discussed.
Well, Rand Paul already said he's going to, so that's one, right? That's all you need is one.
That's all they need is one. Doesn't mean what they do is they have to stop whatever they're doing and have a discussion, which there's a time limit on this discussion. But from way I understood it was they have this discussion on whether to accept the challenge. They don't have to accept it.
And do you have to have like 51%? I mean, because then you got Mitt Romney that will always side with the Democrats and against Trump on anything like this.
Yeah,
sure.
I reckon there's a few others that would go against it, but Mitch McConnell, and he's the powerhouse in the Senate, has told the Republican senators not to go along with it because he's already pledged his allegiance to Biden.
Yeah, we got a problem with him.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's how that's going.
How's my voice sound, Rick? I'm trying some new Bluetooth headset that are for music, for phone, and also for the range. I just wanted to hear what it sounds like.
Well, you sound okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds a little echoey or tin canny to me. All in all, though, it's clear and you can clearly understand what you're stating. So it's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, he is right. There's a sort of like I don't know. Is canny the right word? It sounds like you're in
like it's standing in a shipping container or something.
Yes, yeah, but it's clear and it's loud enough.
I'm going to turn it down slightly, see if that makes any difference.
Yeah. So, Kingpin, we still got it. Do we still have a chance to overturn this election?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, ultimately, we got to just see how it all plays out. But I think there's still a good opportunity.
Yeah. I think there is too, but I said we're running out of time. Ain't many days left. Okay, question for everybody. What about the Tennessee thing, the bombing yesterday?
Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. I've been kind of following that since I heard about it yesterday morning. So,
I haven't really.
Okay.
That's why I've been asking.
I actually just watched the latest press conference before the show today here. So, what questions do you have, or do you want me to just kind of say what I know?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
All right. From what reports were and what they stated, and I'm getting this from I think it's NTD News or NDT. I might be messing it up. It's one or the other there. Basically, there was the RV was seen in a neighborhood, possibly the day or two before, and that night prior. There was actually a video of it in the neighborhood that night prior. And apparently it rolled up there around 5-something a.m. I may be off a little bit on my timing, but this is a general rundown. There was an announcement being played in between, basically something stating if you can hear this, evacuate now. And then there'd be a little music, and it was like a countdown, and it would be 14 minutes if you can hear this, So police showed up to that. Initially, they showed up to gunshot reports. So there is testimony saying there was gunshot reports from the people that live nearby on camera that you could see. Police showed up for that, seen the RV, heard the announcements, immediately started evacuating people and contacting whoever they had to contact at that point. Then, obviously, like we seen there, it ended up blowing up. There was an individual in the vehicle, at least one that they could see on camera, that was holding a sign that police are able to, got it legible so they can understand it. They got about 500 leads at this point. They're not expecting, they don't think anybody else is involved or anything. Obviously, they can't say anything for sure because from what it sounds like, they really don't know anything. Was a lot of severe damage, as you can see on TV. Ripped the front of a 3-story building off. So it was a lot of damage. So that's for sure. But no evidence towards, I've seen things in some of the chats. People are saying Proud Boys made claims. People are saying it was Antifa. People are saying it's BLM. I mean, people are saying everything. So, but the actual reporters, from what I'm seeing, aren't, are the mayor or the police commissioner, whatever it is there, they don't have any idea. There's nothing, not stating it was a political motive or whatnot or this or that. It was right next to Bell Hollow AT&T, which could be considered a target because I looked on Google Maps. You can find the area highlighted there, pinpointed, and go down to Street View and see what, franchises or what could be there for motive. The only thing that kind of stands out is that AT&T building. But if that truly was a target, you'll notice on the maps there was an area where you pretty much get to launch that RV in the building. So I don't know. It did disrupt issues there because it's a server building. So apparently Georgia had a lot of outages with AT&T. So the true motives at this point, who knows? Maybe was it a crazy guy? Is it something else? It's too early for me to make a call. But that's pretty much what I got. Hopefully, it wasn't too long-winded.
Okay, so basically, they don't know. They spent the last two. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's it's serious stuff. But I've noticed when I've been channel surfing, every news channel, all the experts are coming out. All what I'm saying. And the problem is they're not telling us anything because they don't know. So just shut the fuck up. Come up with talk about something else is what I'm saying. So. If it was, I mean, the only important building there was AT&T.
Yeah, and rumors are AT&T was affected in a manner that kind of knocked out their high-speed emergency services.
Well, the guy maybe getting that internet service, and he was pissed off.
So it's not really the average user; it was more of the security aspect.
Yeah, but there's nobody's claimed responsibility yet.
Nobody. I've seen people in chat say something, but anybody could say it. It might have been Santa Claus. Who knows? I don't,
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? At this point, no, nobody credible that I know of that at least they're trying to pinpoint it on one way or another. So, but again, I've just been watching clips from one or two sources over the last day.
Sounds like Bernie Sanders people.
An explosion.
Could be anything. That it's hard to say one way or another. That's why I searched, hoping maybe there was a sign, because there was an area that was blocked out on the maps, but I got another angle and I was able to see. Thinking maybe there was signage, Trump or Biden or Planned Parenthood or a lawyer's office that does divorce or family, something. But I couldn't see anything that really stood out to me.
Oh, well. Oh, I don't know. You reading the chat, Willed and Well Armed? Talk to me.
Can you hear me?
I can now. I said, are you reading the chat?
No, I'm not.
Oh, G-Web said before there was a lot of other mic noise, but not any. But all that is gone now on your thing. You're very clear, So
yeah, I went by the washing machine. I realized it was making noise, so I jumped away from it.
all right, no problem. So, the next thing I was reading, because I signed up. I've been signed up for it for years. From what's the name of them? The Crime Prevention Research Center. I get their weekly email. I mean, most of the time I don't read it, but I catch it every now and then. But it was the main person. It used to be written by John Lott, but he doesn't work there anymore because he works for the Justice Department now. And the Democrats have found out that he's working for the Justice Department, and they want him fired because he's pro-gun. He's pro-2A. And they want a list of all. They want to know whether is he a federal employee or was he a political employee? And because they want all the names, not only just his, but they want all the names who Trump gave the nod to work in not just the Justice Department, all of government, because they want them all fired because they were appointed or by Trump. Can you believe that shit? And I can.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd hold to it. There's a lot of things going on, apparently even through the White House, with people putting letters out stating, be ready to transfer power or transfer over for Biden and all this. And then apparently Trump put out a memo saying, ignore that. We're not giving up. So I don't know. I think there's conflicting things going on right now within the government.
Well, Trump did bar him from getting Pentagon briefings for 2 weeks, and that started on the 24th or 23rd.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So it looks like the military, especially the 305th intelligence, is supporting Trump. Looks like the military raided the Frankfurt servers, CIA servers that were in Frankfurt, that were getting the raw information, the voting information from those different voting machines illegally. And looked like actually both CIA and military guys got killed in that raid. There's a channel called I'll think of it in a second, but there's a channel that's doing a lot of research. It's only been up for about 3 weeks on YouTube, and it's got a lot of real information. I'm guessing it's coming from the military and that 305th Infantry Intelligence Unit. So there's some pretty big information coming out, and it's all going to hinge on or before January 6th, it looks like. So we're within 10 days of it all coming out.
Well, let's hope.
Definitely pass that info over if we get that.
Yeah, I'll go look for it right now.
Thank you.
All right. So, also, there was something else I was going to mention. Man, I can't remember what in the hell it was. It was, Oh yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping that Trump, well, that goddamn bill where they put it all together and Trump's refused to sign. Well, he said he ain't signing it, right? I hope he doesn't veto it because they have enough votes to override it. What he's got to do is let it just die. And if that happens, Congress will be over and it will have to start again.
Yeah, it doesn't work that easy though. You got 10 days for him to either sign the bill, veto the bill, or it passes. If Congress is in session. Now, if they take Christmas break or New Year's break or whatever, then theoretically it could die on Trump's desk and they'd have to start all over. But all they'd have to do is call a special session, have everybody come back for one day to do the veto.
Now, here's the question for you. As of, what was it? Was it yesterday or the 23rd? It still had not officially reached his desk yet. The 10 days don't start until it's on his desk.
Yeah, then now there's three separate bills. There's the defense spending bill, which he's already vetoed. Then there's the coronavirus stimulus package. Then there's the omnibus bill.
Well, they put
the
coronavirus in with the...
Right, but that's... When they say in, they're talking about all in the same legislation. They're all three separate bills. They can break them apart, and that's what Trump told him to do. He said, scrap all the rest of that crap, add $2,000 to the coronavirus bill and send me that one, and I'll sign it. And they were like, oh, okay, we'll add $2,000 and you can sign both bills. And he's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. So they can break the bills apart. They want it to all go and together. So he's just sitting there signing blank pages and giving them what they want. So,
from what I hear, they had an amendment in that bill, the stimulus, geez, can't think of the name now. One you're speaking of here, the help with COVID and all that stuff. They had an amendment in there to make it so he couldn't use the Insurrection Act if need be as well. So I highly doubt he's going to take the bill with just a variance in money. Besides that, it's not, I don't think it's Trump's style to, I'd like to hope to sign off on a lot of this stuff because, you dig into that thing and obviously it's just loaded with crap, in my opinion, especially now with the troubles we're having in our country now. I don't see why we're handing out money like that or studying some of these things or why any of that should be relevant to helping the people at this point.
That link that you put out there, Willed and Well Armed, YouTube's not letting that go through. I tried it on 2 different machines. It says error.
I was just going to ask that. Is anybody else getting that? Because it won't. It's my show. They won't even let me do it.
I was able to click on it, and it took me over to a YouTube page that I was able to subscribe to.
Are you a moderator?
I don't believe so.
What?
I don't believe so.
Because if you come up in chat, I mean, because right now this message is held for review.
Might be, but I'm not on the chat. If that makes sense.
But maybe he went through that. I put it also in the back office chat for just you, Rick, for just the people on the panel. I put it.
I grabbed it in the back.
Okay, because in the actual main chat, it will not allow us to display it because it says show or hide, and normally, see now it let Jason Stewart do it. But Jason, will it allow you to show his thing? On mine, it says show or hide. And if you click show, normally it makes it clearer or bright for everybody can see it. And
it wouldn't let me do that.
Every time I'm doing it, it says try again.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me do it. I made this one off of the side chat inside here, and then I reposted it.
Okay.
I don't know. I know other shows have been complaining, even posting the link to join the chat. YouTube's being funny and not letting us post stuff.
Yeah, but
you could pin it. You could pin it at the top of the comments. But even you is running your show. YouTube sometimes is not letting you even put the link out there for your own show.
Yeah, but they don't have a problem earning money off us, do they? Running those ads all the time now.
I've personally seen it where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't when it comes to people popping links out for shows in the chat. So sometimes I'll get the same thing. It'll just, you click on it and it'll set it using the link. It tells you report, block, or something. It doesn't allow you to open the link up for some reason. And then other times it does with no problem. So it's kind of wonky.
The thing I noticed about this channel, it's brand new. It's only been around 3 weeks. The guy is so professional and polished. For me, never to have heard of Brendan Fallon, it's kind of unusual. I mean, and he also is real strong on anti-Chinese Communist Party, and he can pronounce every one of those Chinese names like he's lived abroad in Hong Kong or something. So. It's a pretty incredible channel with a lot of information, and so he puts out a video per day, and every video is just wham packed with neat facts.
Well, are any of you guys planning on going January 6th
to DC?
Yeah, by any chance?
I'll be there.
You'll be there?
Oh yeah.
Major Chinese multinational.
Yeah, we've been debating it, so just trying to see if we can get away with it. But from what I hear, there's a lot of things going on around this, so it should be definitely. I don't know. Personally, from what I hear, I think Trump's holding out. I think we're going to see something we might like here, but it's all speculation.
Yep, it is. But I'm holding out to the end. I mean, the strange thing is, I got a feeling, even though it goes without shadow of a doubt that something was strange and Trump should have won it, it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm afraid of. They're going to let Biden still be president, even though officially he shouldn't be. I don't know why it makes me think that. I just am. But then again, look at those fuckers in the Supreme Court. You see what they done? They've done the oral arguments for after Biden is being sworn into the White House. They've done it. The court case for the fraud on the 22nd of January. What good does that do?
That would just make Kamala the president at that point.
There's no way in the Constitution, there's no way that it allows you to get rid of him. You can't, so I don't know. Maybe there is, I don't know, but it seems strange. I just...
Well, I mean, between January 6th and the swearing in, there's still a chance of declaring martial law and having the military, revote in those 5 swing states.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually martial law, though. It's because it would be different under that act. In a sense, it would be them working for the legitimate side of the government. So it's, in a sense, yes, but in a sense, no, technically on paper. So, and that does change things. So, I think when people hear that, they instantly think troops on every corner and in your house or whatever the case may be. But for one, we don't have that many troops. For two, that's not the way it would be used and not how it was used in the past.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Knives, how you doing? See him out in the chat. Long time no see. Hey, Vanessa Kitty's here. So yeah, so it's so I mean, news-wise, it's been interesting, you know. And even I just happened to see what what was I listening to? No, wasn't listening to because I don't want I saw a thumbnail for I don't know what it was about, but there was one that I saw a thumbnail for the good old Yankee Marshal when he goes Trump's ATF and something it would do with the pistol braces. I mean, his true colors are finally showing through, you know?
That guy, look, I heard Yankee say maybe a paragraph worth of sentences, so 4 to 5 sentences when I first got on the YouTube. And that's the reason I quit listening to Matt's show, is because whenever Yankee was on, he ruined it. And in those 4 or 5 sentences, I came very quick to understand that Yankee's a stupid person and Yankee is a communist. I call Yankee Bernie Sanders with a gun. And I know that there's people out there that enjoy Yankee, and there's some people out there that are actually friends with him. That's for you. That's for you. I don't bother defending Yankee to me. I have my opinion and my feelings about him, and I don't know why any of us spend any time with that guy. He is not on our side.
He's not. I blocked him a long time ago.
I mean,
I don't care. I don't care about how many guns he gives away. That means absolutely zero to me.
Yeah, I mean, I said I just happened to see the thumbnail. Because I was looking for something else, and because I don't even, as I said, I don't even watch them anymore. You know, and it just happened to come up, and I thought, Jesus. But anyway,
everybody can like who they want. I'm not trying to insult a friend of mine that is friends with you. Just like, for instance, if you were friendly with Yankee, I'm not trying to insult you for being friendly with Yankee. I just don't understand why you would.
You know, I agree. I mean, you know, it's just I totally understand what you're saying. And if anybody out there in the chat likes listening to him, this is by all means keep on listening to him. You know, no skin off my nose. I just think he's what Kingpin said. So anyway, let me get back on track. I lost my track there. I'm just talking about people turning or showing their true colors. You know, it's you know, all them damn, especially, I mean, like Mitch McConnell, he's the one that's really pissed me off. I've never liked him there in the first place, but he's sort of you know, sort of
entrenched. Yeah.
I've always
he's too old to have any fight left in him.
What?
Mitch McConnell's too old and frail to have any fight left in him. He tries to act like he's on the inside, but he hasn't fought for nothing. He could have been a tough guy and stood up and put an end to that impeachment before it even happened. But he's the old establishment. He's been there too long, and there's no fight in him.
Yeah,
but there's plenty of money in his pocket.
Oh, actually, they're all made. And see, and that's why they're all sort of like turning now, showing the true colors, because it's all about money. They can see for the last 4 years, the Republicans maybe haven't made as much money as they normally do because of Trump being in the White House. Now they see them going, they're rubbing their hands together, going, the gravy train's back.
I'll tell you what else is in that 6,000 pages. We may not know it, but in that 6,000 pages, every one of them congressmen, their sons, their uncles, their brothers, their brother-in-laws, their best friend's business, they own half of it. All of them were going to be filthy rich.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I guarantee they're making more money than most of us.
Oh, yeah. But they're going to be making buku money now, you know, because Trump's gone. But anyway, did you see that in the paper this morning? Let's see if I can find it. See if it's still there. Where was it? It's something to do with Biden. Biden's one of his relatives, I think it's a niece or something like that, got charged with it, got found guilty for a DUI, and they gave her no jail time.
I think that's Ashley Biden.
Well, what was she?
We can
was
let
she
that one
pregnant
go.
with Biden's son's kid, or what?
Oh, it's Joe Biden's niece, Caroline, gets no jail time for a DUI guilty plea.
Well, that's kind of how it goes. I'm not going to call anything on that. It's a dangerous thing, but it's not uncommon to not get jail time.
It's that whole selective prosecution. They don't have to charge you. They don't have to give you the recommended sentence.
Well, no.
They reserve that for their friends and the special folks.
I think we're going way too deep into this. You have to break out the details of the case. Because just like Jason said, the average person who gets pulled over for a DUI doesn't spend any time in jail aside from the lockup when they're first arrested on the scene and taken to jail and your car is impounded and different stuff like that. Now, if you want to say that they didn't get any alcohol classes, they didn't get a blow and go, they didn't get any restitution, they didn't get any probation, then that's a problem. Not going to jail for a DUI, especially a first offense, isn't really that rare. Like average everyday Joe Schmo people get that case every day.
We have judges here with DUIs that in the summertime walk to work. Yeah, it's tough to see them walking on the side of the road without swerving, I tell you. It takes a lot of restraint.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying is just, I agree with what you're saying, but it just seems, anything to do with the Biden seems fishy to me. The whole family are crooks.
Well, that's where we have to be careful, because that's a story that's made for us as ravaging, bloodthirsty wolves. We see Joe Biden's daughter gets no trouble at all for drinking and driving, and we're going to jump on that and be like, look, see the other side. But if we read into it and find out that she got 800 hours of community service and $10,000 worth of fines and 16 hours worth of classes like everybody else does, then it's no big deal. If she walked off totally scot-free, then we have a reason to pull our hair out.
Good point.
Plus, she probably has $3,000 worth of legal fees as well.
I'm looking at New York State DWI, and it's saying first conviction driving while intoxicated in New York State is no small infraction. Depending on circumstance of conviction, our circumstance of conviction, an additional jail sentence up to a year is possible. Phone blanked out.
Yeah, there's definitely possible. But if you're just driving down the street,
automatically suspend your license for 6 months, and that's where it kind of cuts off. But
yeah, if you're just driving down the street and you're swerving and you get pulled over, the judge probably isn't going to give you jail time. If you're driving down the street smashing into cars and running dogs over and blowing red lights, you probably might get some jail time.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I honestly believe what gets me is how lenient. Like, if I've noticed this here, is you get a DWI, DUI, whatever you wish to call it, right? And they say, we're going to suspend your license for 6 months, right? Then the defense jumps up and goes, but judge, he has to get to work to earn some money. Well, he can drive to and from work only. If your license is suspended, it's fucking suspended. You got to have some punishment for drinking and driving. I don't care if it's your first offense and you were out and had one too many, throw you over the top.
in those cases, a lot of times your normal license would be gone, and you can apply for a conditional license.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You should.
But with that, they're only allowed to drive to and from work.
If you lose your license,
I've known people with DWIs. Everybody I've known spent at least a week or two in jail before they even got out on court, and then had to spend thousands of dollars and couldn't drive and had to do the breathalyzer thing, and insurance was crazy, and it's wicked expensive and an issue. But they can only drive. They get like 1 day a week with so many hours for personal time, and the rest you're going to and from work.
It shouldn't be allowed.
Well, I'm just stating what it is. I don't know. You know what I mean?
If your license is suspended, then they allow you to do this or do that. What's the fucking point of the suspension?
Well, I don't think somebody should lose the right to drive back and forth. I mean, if they're called at a bar or going to the grocery store, that's one thing. But
where's the punishment? If they allow you to drive to work or they allow you to go once a week to the grocery store, where's the fucking punishment? Walking to work, finding rides to get to work is the punishment. Going on the bus or whatever, or find somebody to take you to the grocery store and back again. It's the embarrassment of doing it. It's the hardship of doing it because you don't have the convenience of your car. That's the punishment.
I agree with you, Rick. And then people will say, well, you can't have people losing their jobs. Well, don't drink and drive and you won't lose your job.
Exactly.
But what the sneaky part, my opinion on the sneaky part as to why they let you do that is if you get a DWI, Rick, and I take away your license and I don't let you drive, how are you going to pay all the fines to the court? Well, I could throw you in jail. Yeah, but I'm not making any money off of you if I got you sitting in my holding cell. But if I let you drive back and forth to work every month, you can cut that check for your fine. You can cut that check for your probation. You can cut that check for your alcohol class.
All about money.
Now that's just a way of looking at why, but they'll tell you because they can't have somebody's life upended and they lose their job and their family starved, all that boohoo stuff because they were drinking and driving. Well, a good way not to do that is don't drink and drive.
I got one that's really going to piss you off, Rick. I don't know if this is available to every community, but I've seen it many times here. If you get pulled over for DUI, refuse the sobriety test on the scene. Just flat refuse it. Tell them the cop makes you nervous, any of that bullshit. They're instantly going to take you uptown and give you a breathalyzer. Once you go to do the breathalyzer, don't do it. Don't blow. Now here you can make a mistake and try to blow and give them their evidence and not take it and get charged with refusal, but just go right up there and just flat out refuse to blow in the machine. What happens to you is your driver's license are instantly suspended for 1 year and you're still going to court in front of the judge, but they have no evidence to prove you or DUI. They got a cop's word, but they got no evidence. You didn't take any tests. They have no proof to show you, but the judge goes with it. You lose your license for a year. But after 14 days, just like in a normal DUI, you can petition for a permit to drive back and forth to work. After 14 days, your lawyer can petition the court to give your driver's license back because you don't have any evidence to prove he was under the influence of alcohol, and you get your driver's license back. No DUI, nothing on your record. You just went 2 weeks or a month without license. It's a shitty little trick, but I've seen it here many times.
Didn't they alleviate that by instituting the blood test? Because I know if you take, you can refuse on scene, and either way, the one that you take at the station is the only one that counts, which is always going to be lower than on scene anyway. But you avoid the one on scene, so you get a lower when you get to the station. But I thought that maybe it's state by state, or maybe it's just something I heard.
Yeah, here you can they can do a blood test on you or whatever test. They have to take you to the emergency room and have it done. They cannot do that without a judge's warrant. So if you get pulled over at 2:30 in the morning and you refuse all their tests, and now it's 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, they're not calling the judge to wake you up for you to go out there to the hospital and fight. By the time they get the results, a good lawyer is going to be like, that's 3 hours after the fact. But you can't take a sample here without a judge's order.
There you go. I think it's all bullshit anyway, but no, I think if you lose your, I think that's wrong. It's I understand what they're doing there, Jason, but that's why I don't like lawyers.
Yeah. Before Mothers Against Drunk Driving was an organization, like all the way up into like the mid 90s around here, you could just buy your way out of a DUI. You could have 10, 15 DUIs if in your lifetime, and they pull you over for another one. And it was a lot of money. Even it was a lot of money back then, but it was like $3,500 or $4,500, and you could just flat buy your DUI out. It's never on an arrest record, your insurance, nothing. It just never ever happened.
Yeah, I think personally, yes, everybody knows I don't drink anymore, but yes, I drink. And thank God that I never got stopped for drinking and driving, because I did it all the time.
A friend of mine did it once when he was 19 and got busted. So he had to deal with, underage drinking and all that. And then when he was 21, he did it again and got busted. So he had to go to court and did all that. And he was just like, he was the kind of guy that, not a sovereign citizen, but like a knucklehead. Like, he was really stubborn. He was like, screw that judge, I'm going to do what I want. And he did what he wanted for the next 10 years. And he was arrested 9 times for driving without a license. And every single time, bam, they nailed it and took him straight to jail. There was no warnings. There was no tickets. One time, he was in front of his house. He came up to help one of his neighbors out, and the cops seen him get out of his car, and he pulled over and arrested him. So if you do act stupid, don't fight the system. If you get caught up, just do what the system tells you to. It'll be long, it'll be painful, but you don't want to get arrested 9 times in 10 years.
Yeah. Also, another thing too. I believe that you should, if you lose, even over your first offense, and they take your license away from you for 30 days or 60 days, that means you cannot drive for that time. No special permits, nothing. The punishment is trying to find your way to work or find your way to the grocery store. If you can drive to those things, where's the punishment?
The real punishment is when you plug that blow and go into your car and it destroys the electrical system in your car, and then when they take it out, you got to get a new car.
Yeah. Or also, I believe after at least, to me, if you're caught, if you get more than 3 DUIs, I feel you should be suspended from driving for life.
Let's see, that's why I think if we institute your punishment plan, after you get your first DWI, number 2, you're suspended for driving for life. Don't drink and drive.
Don't. I was letting you get. You can do it twice. The third time your license is gone for life.
Oh no, Rick! Don't go soft to me.
I think people should just be more responsible and not drink and drive. Okay, you can do it. It can be done. You can get lucky, and it's like gambling. It's all in the odds. But the facts are the facts. You may feel fine and do a good job, but all in all, you are slower. And shit happens, man. That little kid runs out and could get you on a good day. So, you're just better off to avoid it.
I agree with you.
The best way to win.
I got 1 DUI, and they punished me and fixed me right on up, man. And it's been 19 years, and man, you can't even trick me into drinking and driving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if they take your license away for a certain, you can't have no permits. You can't drive. You do it too many times, you lose your license for life. No way of getting it back ever.
It should be a hard lesson, but I think, it should be somewhat recoverable, especially if there's no death involved. You passed out and ditched your car or something. Yes, there should be a consequence and stuff, but again, it should be recoverable. It's that guy that, comes home drunk every day, and he's constantly every other week getting away with a DWI that people shake their head at, that I think is a real issue. And in some places that seems to be the case. You'll see cases, I've seen it on TV. The guy's had 14 DWIs and he was driving again. And it's like, well, what the hell? You know, at that point, I'm with you. But, you know, there's like, I don't know, like when you say like 3 strikes, you're out, it should be 3 strikes, you're out. Not like, we'll see what your lawyer can do.
Well, what they did to me is I got that permit to where I could go drive to work. You had to wait. You had to wait like a couple weeks, but they gave me that permit, and it was only good for like 3 months. Okay. They didn't wrap up my whole case for over a year before I ever got my driver's license back. I think he originally fined me $900 plus court cost, and he took my license for 6 months. And then he said I had to go to the DUI hotel. So I had to pay off the fines to be able to try to get my license back. So I paid off my fines, and they could never get me into the DUI hotel. It was full all the time. So I had all my fines paid off and my paperwork from the Department of Motor Vehicles saying I'm ready to move on to the next step. Took me another 6 months to get into my DUI hotel. So I go through the DUI hotel weekend, and I swear to God, every person there that was on welfare or something and didn't have a job, they went home at the end of the weekend. Every person there that had health insurance or worked a job, you now have to go to like 6 or 8 counseling sessions before you can get your driver's license back. So I started going to the counseling sessions, was $88 a week cash. And I went to like almost all of them, like 5 of them out of 6 or 5 out of 8. And out of the blue, boss came out one day, company I'd worked for almost 15 years. Here's your pink slip. You're laid off, completely out of work. Factory shut down tomorrow. No warning or nothing. Well, I had one of those appointments coming up, and I called him and I told him I just don't have the $88. You know what I mean? I just don't. I can't borrow anything. Is there anything I could do? Can I make out a payment or anything? And they told me specifically over the phone, if I showed up there $1 short, they would call it a refusal, and they would call the judge, and you can explain it to him. So I told him, well, that's my only choice, to go talk to the judge. Sure enough, I got took before the judge, and I explained everything to him, all willing to do everything. I just don't have the money. Maybe in a month, my first unemployment check will come. You know, I'm just stuck here. And he looked at me with a smile, and he said, I understand perfectly. And then he said, 10 days in jail and an extra $1,000 fine. See ya.
In Maryland, I don't know if it's nationwide or what, but Maryland, there's junction classes or drug and alcohol classes. They charge you based on your salary. So if 2 cars get pulled over and the one guy is a McDonald's fry cook making $7 an hour, he's going to get charged based on that salary. If the car behind him gets pulled over and the guy makes $1 million a day, they're going to charge him based on that salary.
They're doing that in Sweden. So if somebody gets caught speeding that's a millionaire, they can get charged. I think there are people that are getting charged up to $100,000 or 100,000 euros for a speeding fine, just to make it a punishable fine for a millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the way it should be. I think if you are drinking and driving and you get caught, back to my thing, the punishment's got to hurt. So if it doesn't hurt, where's the lesson?
Yeah, but a punishment hurting and you charging somebody more because they have more money in their pocket, that's not hurting. That's
right.
Yeah, and just allowing the state to just rob people because they can. I'm not with that.
No, I'm not either. But it's got. I mean, I go back. It's back to the basics. Don't give them special permits to drive. You lost your license. You have to figure out how you're going to get to work. You know, I honestly believe that. You have a choice. Either figure out how to get to work, earn money to pay your fines, or go to jail. There you go. You got
to. in this day and age, if you live in any type of urban surrounding, there's buses, there's trains, there's subways, there's Uber. If you live way out in the middle of nowhere, Uber will come and pick you up. So it's not like, hey, if you got to get to work, you can't get to work. Now, I understand taking money out of your paycheck to get to work every day is going to be a bummer, but you don't lose your job. But you could just rewound time and then Friday night called Uber, pick me up from this party, and then you could have just drove yourself to work on Monday.
I'll just tell you this, a real good bit of advice. If the prosecutors, the judges, and the lawyers in your community all play together in like a little softball league, join that softball league.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But, oh shit, 4 o'clock. Quiz time. All right. The question was, I wanted to know, out of the John Wayne movies, out of, what was it? Rio Lobo, El Dorado, and Rio Bravo, which movie was a remake of the other, and which movie was drawn from both of them? And the answer is El Dorado was a remake of Rio Bravo, and Rio Lobo was drawn from both of those movies. That is the answer. Now, up until 12 o'clock today, I had no entries. But at the very last minute, one came in and got it correct. And you're all going to be mad when you find out who the winner is, because every time he enters, he normally wins.
Please don't say Midnight Range.
No.
Oh man, you gotta be in it to win it.
That's right. John Brown Productions.
Hey, way to go, John.
He's the only one that entered. He got it right.
I didn't want to enter it, but I thought that was a great question, and those are some great movies.
Yeah. So there we go. So you're the winner. All right. Now, this week's question for the swag pack. Now, I mean, this one's really easy. It's about me. Before I started carrying my Performance Center Smith & Wesson 380 EZ, what was my other EDC firearm that I carried?
Shame on anybody. Hold on, give me a second, right? Hold on. If there's not at least 16 entries to this, shame on you. Everybody should know this one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've talked about it enough over the years. So
I honestly don't remember.
No, then you have to go back and listen to old shows. it's not
a Rob, it's a clock.
Yeah.
That son of a...
So I want to know. That's the question. Email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Before I started carrying the 380, what was my other EDC firearm? That's all I want to know.
I think I know the caliber, but I don't want to say it.
So,
Yep.
So email me, get it here by noon Eastern time, Saturday, and you'll be in for the quiz. So there we go. I don't even own an AR-15. I don't even own that 15-22 anymore. I swapped it for a lever action 22. So
on your John Wayne movies there, which one of those was your favorite, Rick?
I like the one that I think it was Rio. Was it Rio Lobo where it started off? Wasn't that the one where he started off when he was a cavalry captain or something, and his friend died, and you had the woman in there driving a wagon? Isn't that Rio Lobo?
Yep.
Yeah. Out of those three, that's the one I liked.
I like the remake better than the original one. I just like James Caan was Mississippi. I think he's a little better than who was that? Ricky Nelson and the other one. But I like the second one just a little bit better.
Yeah. I liked all these movies that he was in. Even some of his non-Western ones, just stupid ones.
Well, Dean, who was it that was the sheriff in the first one? Dean Martin. Dean Martin.
And Robert Mitchum in the second one.
He did a good job in the bar scene where he's got to chase the guy in there and he's hiding behind the piano and he's taking on the bad guys. But Robert Mitchum played a much better drunk, and he really did a good performance in those scenes.
Oh yeah.
Remember the guy behind the counter reaches for a shotgun and he shoots it through the bar and the dude's hand's got like 1,000 splinters in it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even look at either. He just reached, pointed over, and shot it because I told you to step back.
Yeah, and I like the bit where the guy stands up and he goes, "Hey, laughing boy," and he hits him with the gun. I would love to do that to somebody too, who laughs at you. Then you can get back at him. So, anyway, that's enough out of that. So, all right, what's next? So, anyway, what did you get? You get anything good for Christmas, Jason?
Yeah, man, I got some stuff to help me for YouTube, man. I got like a little generic GoPro camera, and I got a tripod for a cell phone and it's came with a ring light, like a circle light to light up what you're doing. It's all remote control, got different settings, different brightnesses. Little kit, man, so I could try to make some YouTube movies.
Oh, great.
Nothing real expensive. It's all cheaper stuff and Amazon stuff, but it seems like it'd get me somewhere. It's a start.
Yeah. Hey, do you know why? I mean, what didn't they changed? I mean, they gave John Wayne the name John Wayne because they thought his real name was wasn't masculine enough. Because wasn't he Marion Morrison or something? His real name, something like that.
Yeah, I believe his name was Marion.
Yeah. Kingpin, you get anything decent for Christmas? Talk to me, Kingpin.
I was listening to the internet talk about Marion Robert Morrison.
Yeah, that's him.
No, I don't do Christmas. I got a little ceramic house that I can paint, and then a little assorted pack of different hot sauces, and a hoodie. But I don't do the whole Christmas thing.
A hoodie. Huh? But you can go in there and rob them convenience stores.
No, this one's a real heavy duty hoodie for when I've got to go out and salt sidewalks. We've got this real giant complex that we have to do, this shopping mall area that we have to do. And sometimes I get every time I get the short end of the stick, and I do all the manual labor. And if it's going to be real cold, this will be the first winter jacket hoodie that I've ever had.
Okay. All right. What about you, New York Outcast? You got anything good for Christmas?
Yeah, I got a few things. The family was given a kind of like a gift box from Omaha Steaks that came in a big cooler. So that was cool. We had a bunch of stuff in there. That was good. I love meat, so that's always a plus. Got a gift card for a massage, so I can get a personal massage. Supposedly, a classy place, so I'm told. I don't know. So that's kind of cool. It'd be a first time I've ever paid for a massage or went for something like that, but sounds like a good time. Let's see, little gauge thing. I think it's like I don't know. It's hard to explain. A little trim profile gauge for trim. My daughter got me. It's one of them tools with like the little fins you can slide up the trim, and it gives you the perfect contour to transfer over. So that was kind of thoughtful. So I don't know how that'll work out, but it might save me time with working with tile or something like that. Playing with it seems like it definitely will. But we'll see. What else? Jeez, now I feel bad. I think I got something else too, but I can't remember. So,
damn, you done quite well this year.
I got a few things, different people. So it was nice. So all definitely usable stuff. So appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about you, Will and Well Armed? Anything good for Christmas?
Yeah, I got a something called a U keg. It's a 64-ounce keg that you go when you go to the growler bar. They fill it up, and then you put a CO2 cartridge in it, and it keeps it cold and pressurized.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yep. So that and a Jumanji game and a couple shirts. But about the Jumanji game and those monkeys all.
All right. All right. Oh, that's good. Anyway, you guys got anything else you want to talk about? Yell out and what's on? Oh, I know what I want to say, Kingpin. I've watched a couple of those salty cracker videos that he makes.
Salt must flow.
That's right. Yeah, he makes some good points. You know.
Yeah, he's a pretty smart dude, man. He obviously goes overboard because he's trying to make him funny as well. But so far, I've never seen him say anything that was just blatantly wrong.
I've also been going over there lately or trying to catch those, and I'd agree it is pretty good. He actually ran one on Christmas, so that was pretty good as well. So I would state I from what I've seen, it's entertaining. The voices get to me a little bit when people change their voice up like that whiny voice. I just hate whiny voices, whether they're real or fake. But needless to state, that gets to me a little bit. But all in all, it's definitely entertaining. So if you haven't checked it out, you might. Chat sucks though because the guy's always got like 20,000 people in the chat, so it's it's not one to kind of bullshit on because you'll by the time you type it out, it's gone.
Oh yeah, and you can't read it because it goes by so fast.
Who is that?
Salty cracker. The good thing. Go ahead, Will.
I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, just type in salty cracker on YouTube, and he'll be the first one to come up. It's a cracker, So I mean, he'll be the first one to come up. Yeah. What I think is interesting about it is, like I said, maybe on Jason's chat last week, he went from when I started watching him 10,000 subscribers. Now he's almost 525,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
and that's not. I mean, let's say there's 10,000 people that hate his guts and want to come in there to thumb him down and give bad reviews and flag him. Then there's 490,000 other people, and then there's a portion of those that only watch him because he's funny. But either way, the channel grew so fast in such a short time because people want to hear this information. And YouTube shuts you down. Facebook shuts you down. The mainstream media doesn't play. So that's just an encouraging thing is when you see channels like, Tyler Zed or I watch Jericho Green or Liberal Hive Mind, and their channels just exploded overnight. That's because people are hungry for some honesty. That's just one good thing to look at. When you see stuff like that, understand that this dark, gloomy cloud is not a biggest of a cloud. It's not covering the whole country, and it's not all encompassing.
Yeah. I tell you one thing, though. I mean, it sounded plausible what he said. It was a couple of nights ago. He done a live stream on YouTube, and he was saying it shows I got 15,000 people here listening to my live stream. and he stopped at 45 minutes and swapped over to D-Link, which is another platform.
D-Live.
Yeah,
Oh,
D-Live.
it is D-Live?
Yeah. Which is a little tricky because I tried to follow him over there one time and I couldn't find a damn thing. Except, I could log in and maybe I could search it, but I don't know. So
yeah. So anyway, what he was saying is YouTube throttles your numbers because it had 15,000. This other platform, when he started up, all of a sudden, he went from 15,000 people watching his show on the second or third largest, I think it's the second largest search engine on the internet, YouTube, right? With 15,000, all of a sudden he goes to D-Live and he has 25,000 people watching him. The true number of people actually watching. But YouTube only told him he had 15,000 watching.
You can watch some of these people, like the liberal hive mind. He showed his analytics before maybe October, maybe before November. And it was before November, so maybe it was early October. He showed his analytics, and it was, the first 5 minutes he had 200,000 views or some craziness like that, and all these non-subscribed people and other shares and stuff, like everybody else's analytics would look. And then he noticed something, and he started showing his analytics, and no people outside the people subscribed to his channel were watching his videos. Just overnight, it went from more people who aren't subscribed watching to absolutely zero. So, I mean, but his subscriber count, he's gained 100,000 subscribers since then. So it's not like people aren't interested in what he's saying and they just quit watching. So somebody did something to affect his channel directly.
You're right. You're right. I agree with you. Oh, okay. Another thing I wanted to bring up, not on him, but talking about him made me think about it, is like when Trump hasn't signed that bill and he says, give us all $2,000 and get rid of the chapter or whatever it is, 230 that protects these platforms. Because they're acting like publishers, and right now you can't sue them for the shit they're doing, because they claim they're only platforms, not publishers. And to get rid of that, which would be great for these, I reckon if they took it away or it was going to happen, I think Google and YouTube and Twitter and all them would start towing the line, because once people know they can sue them, So, but I mean, Trump wants to get rid of it, instead of, I think these big corporations like Google, YouTube should not be allowed the protection. But what about the little guy? Shouldn't he still be allowed the protection?
Well, that's what some of the Congress members have brought up. They want to take it away from the big, powerful ones, but they still need to keep it enforced for the smaller guys, because it was intended for the smaller companies. YouTube, Facebook, Google, all that has outgrown what anybody could have imagined when they passed that law.
Yeah. Sabrina's here. How you doing, Sabrina?
Because if they don't, they'll go over to who's the new guy, Parler, or he's not totally new, but anyways. Well, if they removed that and they didn't have that protection, well, somehow the Facebooks, the Google, their people are connected somehow. They'd find some way to sue Parler out of existence.
Now, here's another thing too. Okay, I mean, take this right here. I use GunTube, right? Is that classed as a platform?
No. GunTube.org, the actual platform, is not technically a platform because it's strictly for the Second Amendment. And Night Strikes made that quite clear. He's not going to allow you to post cat videos over there. It's strictly firearms related, whether it's politics or, you know, functionality or history. So he made it quite clear ahead of time. This is not a platform. This is a gun related video sharing website. Kind of like how kind of in the way, maybe, and J Whips is out there, maybe he can correct me if I'm wrong, but Gun Channels was kind of set up the same way. It wasn't intended for you to bring your family photos over of the beach vacation, unless of course that beach vacation you were full auto AK. Now the GunTube chamber here, this is just a video sharing site.
Okay. You know, I mean, because it's the little guy that I was thinking of, but hell, I think it should be. I mean, if they take it away, because right now they're a platform, but they're censoring what information's going out there, so that makes them a publisher, which they could be liable for certain things that they're doing, and I think it should be taken away from them. They should be able to be sued and all that kind of shit.
The argument to be made is, and from what I understand, Trump's plan is not to just nuke 230, because that would have ramifications all throughout the internet, not just on YouTube or Facebook. So what he's going to want to do is scare them with removing it in order to get it modified. Now, the problem with whether it's a platform or a publisher, terms of services are supposed to be very clear. So they can still remove anything that they want for basically any reason, because it's their platform and they have, you know, rules of terms of services. The problem is they do it unfairly. The problem with unfairness is you have to prove that. You have to prove that there was intent, that I deleted 10 conservative videos, but only one liberal video. Now, I've just said, look, hey, the liberal video, I seen it. It was inappropriate. We got rid of it. We seen those conservative. I got rid of it. There was no bias, and it's just what landed on my desk. If you can prove that I directly went after conservative, and you can't prove that just by the fact that there's more. That's evidence, but evidence isn't proof. Evidence will lead to proof. You need more evidence to say that I'm biased in doing it, which is where James O'Keefe and Project Veritas comes in with all their undercover work, catching all these people talking about doing it on purpose.
Yep. Yeah, well, okay, so yeah, I mean, they need to be scared into doing everything like they're meant to, is I guess what they're, or amended. I don't know. It's just, I believe these big corporations. I mean, even Google, when you type something in, it shows you the search that they want you to see. You know, not maybe not the one that you need. Let's put it that way. You know. Anyway, G Web said Gun Channels was the perfect platform, real, authentic, and made up of many people with similar interests. Yes, it was. I've thoroughly enjoyed Gun Channels while it was around. So
I think you bring up a great point, Rick, when you mention what they want you to see or whatever. I just remind people, because once in a while, we're people and it kind of slips our mind, but even something as basic as searching for a hotel room can be different. You can get different results in the same area depending on what device you use. So you are kind of classified as a spend more or spend less person in some cases. And I've seen, documentaries on this, and I've tested it myself actually too. So there is a difference out there sometimes when you do searches, or even something like I said, a hotel or car rental. Your phone kind of picks up on you, and all those little permission things that people don't think about add up to a tailored experience.
If you want to know anything political or current events, don't use Google if you want to know the truth.
There you go. There you go. The man has spoken.
You're looking for a car part. You're looking for something on sale at Sears. Google, do you? If you want to know something about the election or Donald Trump or anything that's going on, don't use Google.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to laugh. It's a shame he's not on here, but he don't listen to me. But I was watching it the other day. One of his hasty headlines. Matt, never enough ammo.
You're in love with that dude.
I was listening to him, and somebody was asking him questions about his best. I think it was Star Wars movie or his worst Star Wars movie, and he said Phantom Menace was the worst one ever done. Then he said The Last Jedi. He said, then this is the one that made me this is the one that got me laughing. He goes, yeah, and he said The Rise of Skywalker was mediocre. When the Rise of Skywalker come out, he was having orgasms. He went and saw it 5 days in a row.
That's an addiction, man. I don't think any movie's that good.
He thought it was the best Star Wars ever made. Then people started saying what crap it was, and he's no doubt now it's mediocre. That's what I was laughing at. I thought it was so funny,
So the best Star Wars movie was the last Star Wars movie because it was the last one.
That was The Rise of Skywalker.
Hey, I did think that movie was kind of okay, but since Disney started making all of these, I don't know.
It was entertaining, but it totally screwed up the whole story.
I was taken one by a friend as a gift that I was supposed to see as like an honor. I quickly caught on, but it was a hard watch for me. So, not that it was that bad, but I just didn't see the hype or why it was supposed to be seen as an honor. But I did it respectfully, and I tried to enjoy it and gave it a chance. And I don't know, it's not for me.
Yeah. Also, the last episode of season 2, Mandalorian, according to Never Enough Ammo, is the best show ever made on TV.
I like it. I like it better than some of these movies.
I like Mandalorian. I've been watching it, and it's a great thing. I mean, the only reason he's wetting his pants again is because of the very last part when you see the Jedi take on all those people and whip them out, and he comes into the room and he throws his hood back, and it's Luke Skywalker. All computer images and put his face on another actor.
You've watched Matt long enough to know that everything is always the best thing ever.
Yeah.
If it's the new soda coming out, the new ice cream, the new video game, or the new movie, it's the best thing ever. Everything he talks about is his greatest, most favorite thing ever.
Wasn't that whole thing designed to be like a soap opera for men? Like initially off Star Trek and all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been into that stuff, man.
But I think it better than the movies, man. I think they do it better than the movies. It's just straight action and the hero and the rescue and all that every week. It's not like the movie and all the political and social innuendos shoved in your face about it all. It's just action. It's shooting and it's action.
Anyway, let's move on. I said I'm just rambling here with things that it's Rick's life as I see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just rambling. So let's move on. You guys got anything else you want to talk about, or should we wind it up?
I don't know. You ever seen this show called Mandalorian?
That is my favorite show of all time.
Yes.
Man, there was one a couple weeks ago. See that Rosaria Dawson was in that one? She was the Jedi.
She is the most pretty woman of all time.
She was, even with the funny horns growing out of her head. She was still hot.
Oh, those horns came because she pretended to be Cory Booker's girlfriend. So God punished her, and those are real horns.
I got a question. I don't know, how long you want this to go on, but just it's a little different, but just out of curiosity, has anybody seen anything that was kind of shockingly generous over the holidays? As simple as an act or something like that, or?
I got a phone call from my dad. Hadn't spoke to him in years.
That's
wow.
cool. Hopefully it went well.
No, I'm taking the golden opportunity to do as little as possible. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are those times for me.
Yeah, I do as little as possible too.
Yeah, my dad did tell me he has an AR pistol, 2 of them. One's a 300 blackout.
Well, there you go.
And he wasn't going to give his up no matter what they said.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Father like son.
That's right. That's right. We needed you the other night, Wilton Well Armed, because on my Shooting with Disability show, it was a question I brought up, and I couldn't remember. Oh, I can't remember what the question was now. Oh, yeah, we were talking about, AR pistols and the brace. We're talking about the braces. Does anybody actually use the brace as a brace?
I've used it a few times as a brace. I got one on my little X-Star 9. It weighs less than 4 pounds, and I can put that brace on and easily hold it out. 5 minutes. I mean, it's so lightweight. It's just heavier than a CZ Shadow 2. I mean, it's twice as heavy, but you can actually look down the barrel and see down, the red dot, down it. And then I've got one on a variable of 1 to 6 on one, and I can hold it out and see down the red dot, no problem, even with it arm's length out. But mostly I do shoulder or at least cheek weld it. Just getting it on my cheek, because the main thing with me on pistols is it's not all so heavy out there that, it's pulling me over because I don't have any stomach muscle, so I pretty much have to shoot it one-handed.
Okay. I was just curious. I mean, because I said I have actually I went in. There is quite a few videos out there of people showing using because originally I said all the people I know, I've never seen anybody use one as a brace. But I look, there is quite a few videos out there of people using them as actual what they were intended for.
Can I hit them with a follow-up question?
Yeah, go
on. Wheeled and well armed. Would you? I know, not regarding the law, but would you? Would it be worth it to you to pay $200 and go through a bunch of gymnastics hoops or whatever with the ATF to keep that item if for some reason that thing did all go through?
Well, I mean, I think it'd be better off to, go there personally and talk with them and find out, because I've got 3 tail hooks and I've got 1 SB brace on my 3 pistols. So, I don't even know if the tail hooks were under consideration. They had nothing to do with the SB brace.
Well, for Cajas, if they were, and you had to pay $200 a piece, would you keep all the ones you had? I mean, would it have been worth it for you to keep possession of that?
Well, I mean, I had it before they were even invented. I had the little walking cane thing. The big rubber thing you have on the bottom of a walking cane. I had that on them before, and I was shouldering it that way.
So it was a practical item to you, basically, is what, from what I'm getting from this. That's why, I'm curious if it would have been worth it for you to pay that, even though you shouldn't have to. That's not the debate, but would it have been beneficial for you to own it?
I would pay. If I would go back to a pistol without the brace, if I had to, but it just makes it a lot more comfortable than the rubber stopper. I'd probably, if it came down, I'd probably, string a whole bunch of paracord on the end of it or something, because a stock doesn't really help me that much. But I'd probably go to SBR if I had to. I just don't like the idea of having to register things.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm glad it didn't pass, and I don't think it should be an issue, but I just wanted to see if it did actually affect you and, what it was worth to you. So to kind of show, see what the effect is out there, because it would be a shame if you were hindered from that just because of, out the blue, they want to have a problem the next day or something. That's, it's a shame.
Yeah, so when it was all going down, I reached out to LWRC. I asked them, how much is it going to cost me to get a barrel that's 16 inches, just to take it up to, our 14.7 with a pin. And they wanted $500, and they would include the adjustable gas brake on that. So it'd be a nice upgrade for me, but still, that's a pretty expensive barrel upgrade to get. The big advantage to me would be, at that point, I could also get the variable gas block. So, I was kind of exploring going, taking it back to a carbine status away from pistol completely. And, not real excited about it. But
so this changing saved you some money, time, and messing around.
Yeah, because, at the end of the day, I would never be able to hold unless I got a table or a tripod. So I was looking at that death grip tripod with the big grip. Yep. Who wants to, you can't really shoot on the move when you got a death grip tripod that you got to drag around, set up, and clamp into. Just the whole thing is a hardship.
For all them people out there that think it's just a piece of junk, obviously your proof is not. So, and besides that, it's the meaning of it, not the item. So I'm glad it didn't work out, and I'm glad you don't have to go waste money to mess around and try to find something that works for you to, avoid going on a registry and hopping through hoops and all that crap.
Yeah. I wrote them a real long letter, and when you listen to G. Webb read all those for an hour and a half, I realized they removed all the ones that had cuss words and all the ones that had, take it out of my cold damn hands. Those letters were all removed, and probably all the form letters that were all identical, probably all those were removed except one. But there were a lot of meaningful letters with a lot of great points of view and a lot of strong arguments there. There probably were, I'd say, 20 separate individual arguments that were all strong in support, all from different mind thinking, different based on the Constitution, based on, or the Bill of Rights, different arguments that made a lot of sense. And I was just really happy that he took the time to read all those that night.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to me, if anybody wants that, anybody wants a brace, by all means, have one. You know what I'm saying? I have no objections to it. Well, I personally myself, I'm just curious if anybody actually used them for what they were originally intended for. I could be totally wrong. I read somewhere that was the original intent of them, was to help people who couldn't, hold a gun. The
reason I like the tail hook better is you flip down the hook it hooks on your arm. You got it out there. So when you're in the SB brace, it's Velcroed on your arm, and you can't push your wheelchair with the AR strapped to your arm. You have to remove the Velcro every single time to move anywhere. I mean, it's not just moving forward or left or right, but I mean, just to move left or right, you can only use your left hand to pivot yourself around in a circle. You know, I mean, it's so the tail hook gives you the ability to immediately take it off, put it in your lap, and move as you need to, and then put it back on quickly without dealing with the Velcro. That's what I found.
Okay.
Sounds right. Plus, having to reload it would be a lot nicer not to have it strapped to your hand if you only had one hand.
Right.
Yeah. So with the ATFs dropping what they were doing, that's a good. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a great thing.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just, because I was because I don't know, it was maybe, I can't remember what channel I was watching, but they were saying that the way they're doing things, it's so vague. Now, since they dropped it, it's still going to stay like it is, so vague?
I hear there's still some type of lawsuit going on and whatnot. I mean, we all know which way they're moving on things, but the fact that it was dropped now, it's a small win. I'd take it. Why not? Are they still going to keep pushing? Of course, that's what they do. So, I don't know. Maybe people are just trying to get on the ball for the next thing, but I think we all know this. So I'm happy with a win, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the new rules made it actually more vague than what it currently is, especially with that length of pull. There were some other rules in there that just made it where it was more difficult to decide whether it was legal or not.
Okay. I said I got lost. I mean, because I was trying to read it myself, and I'll be honest with you, I ain't the smartest guy in the world. And if I read it a few times, I would figure it out. But the couple times I read it, it didn't make sense to me. A lot of what they were trying to do, But
we should use that motivation, and all the people that wrote letters and have issues should, jump right back on them about stuff and start questioning things.
I just wrote stuff. I wrote to my senator. I said, "We voted you in there, so do something. Look at it. Look into it." And I posted on the website too. So I've done my part.
Yeah, that's what I did. I wrote the letter, and then I copied it, put it to my congresswoman, who's Lucy Macbeth, and her son died from a gunshot, so she's definitely anti-2A. So I knew it wasn't a chance of getting anything done with her, but at least I can let her know what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah. So, all right. So she's anti-2A. Well, I mean, you're in a Democrat area of Atlanta?
Well, they just kind of gerrymandered her. It used to be Newt Gingrich's. Used to be my congressman, and now it's her. So they just jugged it all down, and the county goes all around to pull in enough minority vote to get her in and keep her in. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm just curious. It's I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to wind this up. I'm getting hungry, to be quite honest with you guys. My cats are sitting here waiting to eat too. So,
I hope you're eating healthy after this week.
Oh yeah, I am. I said I had 2 good days. So actually, believe it or not, I'm having a salad.
Oh man.
I went and bought some salad.
People,
You know,
we're making mountains move here, one scoop
you know,
at a time.
I will be honest. I'm going to throw some ham on it. I got tons of ham.
Well, all in moderation. It's
Yeah.
it's those little things. As long as your numbers keep moving, you're good to go, man. So it's I didn't even have to harp on him, and he's going for a salad. Like this crap, yeah. Hold on, let's see. I gotta do that.
Yeah. There we go. All right, you got any shout outs or plugs there in New York?
No, just everybody have a great weekend here, and the holidays may be over, Christmas or whatever, but I didn't see much as far as great acts. I didn't get an opportunity to do anything, but I think in some way, if we all did, it would be a better place. So keep an eye out for that little thing you might be able to do to change somebody's life.
Yeah, you're right. Jason Stewart, any shout outs or plugs?
Great to see everybody, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Wilden Well Armed.
Oh, thanks for having me, Rick. I've been trying to do a little short video under 1 minute every morning at 10 o'clock for the weekend morning. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And then trying to do a full-length video once a week as well.
Yeah. Well, you missed my show the other day about the YouTube short, so we won't go into it. I had a rant. Kingpin, you got anything?
No, man. Thanks for having me. Actually, yeah, check out G23. He'll be live at 6 Eastern.
All right. Hope I didn't upset Wilden Well Armed. He just dropped out. So yeah. But those YouTube shorts, I tell you, they're getting more and more popular. I've noticed. So hey, if it works for you, go for it. That's what I say. But
it might be a day you got to make one, Rick.
Hey, it might be. It might.
There's a few phrases of you that I think would be hits out there.
Yeah, I might have to join the bandwagon. You jump on the bandwagon with everybody else. Become a sheep instead of a sheepdog, I guess.
I haven't figured it out yet, so we'll see.
All right. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for stopping by. Some good conversation going on there. G-Web's said a lot of good stuff in the chat there. Even though I might not have read it out, I was reading it silently here. Him and Dead Horse have been having a conversation about the money that the ATF gets. Or no, is it? Yeah, because the $200 tax stamp ends up at the ATF. Oh, well, that's what funds the ATF in a roundabout way. So there we go. So anyway, I want to say thank you everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it. Hope you all had a good Christmas, and we got the week into the new year. So, I mean, in my day, it was Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So we still got the Happy New Year to come. 2021. It's got to be better than 2020, hopefully. So, we'll see. All right. I will talk to you all later. So, everybody, have a good one. So, let me sign out. So, see you all on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So, goodbye, everybody. Bye, Sabrina.